Simphiwe Network. I'm your host, Leda Shakufa. Blackbox series is a show where we sit down with entrepreneurs, hustlers, people on the ground trying to get it. And today I have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Simphiwe Dlungwana.
Hey, brother.
Dlungwana, please.
Yes, Dlungwana.
You must know that it's
yes.
Dlungwana.
How's it, dog?
I'm good. How are you, man?
Good, man.
First of all, welcome to the Blackbox series.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. We're going to rap a little bit about business and about shop, but first, let's talk about something that we both love that is unfortunately not happening this weekend.
The
There will be no race in Imola.
No race, flooded. I think we're all looking forward to it. I think it's been, 2 or 3 weeks without a race?
Yes.
So, yeah, kind of bummed about it, but what else can we do? At least we got Monaco coming this coming Sunday.
Are you a fan of
I'm not a fan of that track. You can't overtake. There's not much action. Depending on where you started on the grid, you'll probably finish up there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so not much action. But again, Monaco's the fashion capital,
It's a swag event. It's a swag event.
And that's why they can't get rid of it.
Nah, they can miss me with it.
No.
I'm okay because our team is not exactly having the best season.
True, proper struggling.
No, man, it's been a rough one, man.
The excitement of the start of the season when they came out with the black car and everyone was like, oh, that looks so hot, so dope. We were hoping that the look will also be part of the performance, but unfortunately right now we are struggling.
No, it's a tough time all the way around. But we'll figure it out. So anyway, if you guys don't know, Simpiwe does what we like to call the F1 paddock viewing.
Yes.
It is a Formula One viewing experience. And I enunciate experience because that's exactly what it is. Before we get to talking about that, I just want to give some people some background into who you are as a person.
Cool.
So if we can go back to the early days.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, you are from KZN.
From KZN, originally from a small little town called Richmond in Daleni. People who know of KZN actually know about that place very well. It was the capital of Udlamu back in the days. So grew up there, then moved to Hammersdale, schooled in Pietermaritzburg, and then made my way up to Johannesburg.
Yes, the great track.
Yeah.
So outside of running Formula One paddock viewing, what's your day-to-day like on a Monday to Friday when there's no race week?
Cool. So I am an entrepreneur at heart. I've got 3 businesses that I'm involved in, including paddock viewing. So my main business is the executive search business. So it's basically recruitment for executive level positions.
Yeah.
So I've been running that for over 17 years. It's my bread and butter. It's what keeps the lights on and what feeds the child.
Yeah, feeds the kid. Yeah.
So that's my main business. My second business is Simphiwe by Flawless. So I'm actually wearing one of the garments from Simphiwe by Flawless.
Oh, this is you right here.
Yeah.
It's clean. The tennis type sweaters vibes.
Yes. So we've got it's me and 4 other partners. We're involved in this little beautiful project. We've got a number of garments out. A majority of it is knitwear. So if you want to check it out, it's on Instagram, which is _Freeway by Flawless. Facebook. And everything else.
In the description below, I'll link it right there.
And then it's paddock viewing. Paddock viewing is another pet project. I think F1 paddock viewing came from just the love of F1. Truthfully speaking, I've told you this before. Yes. It was a selfish thing when I started it off. I literally just wanted a space to go watch the F1 by myself and my mates. Yes. And it just grew and grew and grew. It started with Spa. Which is in what are we in? 2023 now.
2023.
Yeah. You don't understand the dates anymore, especially with load shedding. You don't know if it's night or day.
8 hours a day. It's insane. But
that's crazy.
You wanted a place to go watch Formula One.
Yeah, so wanted a place to go watch Formula One. So as I was saying, it started off when I was watching Spa in 2021. That race got rained out, and then I found myself drinking with my wife. I was like, man, would have had fun if I was out there with other people who like F1. Yeah. So I did a Google search looking for a spot, basically, to watch F1. Found nothing. I could easily find a place for rugby, could easily find a place for soccer. Yes. But there was nothing for F1. So then said, okay, cool. And there's no spots available. Let me find my own spot. So did a bit of Google. Then I found a They always say it's not 01, it's not 0, it's not 011, it's 011 Genitary in Santon.
Okay.
So 011, yeah.
011.
Because O is a letter, 0 is a number.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So 011, found 011 in Santon, approached him, spoke to them about the idea. Obviously, you know, when like any other opportunity or any other business, when you start off and you're speaking to people about it, they were like,
A bit skeptical, yeah.
and I was like, just give me an opportunity. Asked them to give me a little space in the restaurant because they used to have another party going on at the same time. Give me a little space in the restaurant. And then I used to travel with my own TV, the one behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably for the first year, for 6 months, literally. I used to, every Sunday, wake up, take my TV there, chill there with my mates and watch the race.
Wow. The importance of building a community. And it's taken, I would say, the Gauteng province by storm.
Yes.
Because you can't throw a stone without seeing a place doing an F1 watch-along.
I know, eh?
You know, but the beauty in your event, and actually how we met is because I came through to one of those events, it's the community behind it.
Yes.
There's a real sense of connection, and like people are really just out there enjoying the race, trying to like find like-minded people. And talk to me how that feels to you, like that sense of community.
It's amazing. You know, they always say that sports brings people together, and it's quite true. You know, we've seen that with the Rugby World Cups, we've seen that with the Soccer World Cups, even with F1. And I think for me, the thing that always makes me stand back and smile is the fact that when I see a diverse type of people in the same surroundings. So I'm talking about blacks, whites, Indians, coloreds, Chinese. I'm talking about different age groups, guys who are probably 18. There's even guys who get there or come to the race who are like 45 going to their 50s. And then you just watch them interact, and there's that banter between all of them in terms of Ferrari fans versus Red Bull fans, Mercedes fans, who always hate the Red Bull fans, and who everyone hates Red Bull.
Oh, yeah. it's a very nice place to just, and like you say, have that banter, a little bit of friendly rivalry. You know, because we all love the sport so much.
And it's clean, banter, I find myself every time going back, meeting new faces, meeting new people, and I enjoy that. You know, the truth of the matter is the F1 community in South Africa is quite huge. I would also think that in the rest of Africa it's the same, and a lot of people would always think that people who watch F1 is a certain demographic, yes, of individuals, but it's not actually. There's a lot of diverse people who like F1.
All right, so talk to me about the grind of that. Having somebody you've got 3 businesses.
Yeah.
That means and you just had a new baby. You are a very busy man.
I don't know what sleep is.
Well, let's talk about that. There's this whole sort of narrative that most people will push. You'll have some CEOs who say, get up early, go get it. And then you'll find other people who are saying, take your time, take care of yourself. Where do you see yourself? Are you that early morning like grinder, or are you someone who burns the midnight oil throughout the night? Or are you someone who's looking for that perfect balance?
It's a really good question. I've never thought about it. I would say I am a play it by situation type of individual. Obviously, it's always great to plan your day ahead, but certain things happen. Like, for example, because I've got these 3 businesses, if I say I wake up normally at 7 and I'm out of the house by 7:45, if my son wakes up and he wants attention, it literally takes away my whole time schedule. So I always play by ear. Before my son, yes, I was one of those guys who gets up in the morning. So I'd be like 6 o'clock out at the office. And then I'll also find myself that when I get home, I'm actually not logged off because I will eat doing something on my laptop, especially now with the cell phone. You know, you answer emails, you communicate on cell phone. So it makes it difficult, but the balance is key. And for me personally, I live by one motto, or a structure. It's God, it's my wife, it's family, and it's my friends. So I'll always put it in that order. So I'll always, in any situation when it comes to me making a decision on what am I doing at that exact time, I'll put it in that order.
Okay, priorities are very important. So talk to me about executive recruiting.
Yes.
This seems like a very interesting space. I've never heard it labeled like that.
What does that entail? I know you go out, you look for specific individuals for specific. So how does that process go for you?
Okay, so executive search is very similar to recruitment, and a lot of people make the mistake of calling recruitment and executive search the same thing. It's not the same. So, if I had to give an example, what recruitment is basically in the simplest form. I'll take a company. ABSA would be looking for a finance manager to join their team. A recruitment agency will send CVs of people who are applying for that role. So everyone who maybe sees it on an ad, either on LinkedIn or any social media platform, or even on the company's website, they can send in their CV, and then the recruitment company screens those CVs and sends the ones that they feel are right. Now, executive search is similar but different. So with executive search, ABSA again will say they're looking for a financial director. As an executive search, you don't do an ad. What you say to your clients is that I will go to your competitors, so Standard Bank, West Bank, FNB, Capitec, all the banks basically, and specifically headhunt the guy who's the finance director there. Now, if you look carefully in terms of the two techniques, with executive search, I am approaching and speaking to people even when they are not looking for a job.
Okay.
And I sell the opportunity to them. And you'll find most of the time the guys who are always the greatest guys are the guys who are not looking for a job.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be that great if they were looking for work.
Exactly. So you then, as an executive search, you speak to them, you sell the opportunity, and then you move them to your clients. So I've been doing it now for over 17 years. I love it. I learn about different industries all the time. So I've got experience in the mining sector, in ICT, telecoms, FMCG, parastatals, petrochemicals, the works.
I think the list of things you don't do would be shorter than one of the things
True.
you do. So you've
True.
been in this business 17 years.
17 years.
17 years. That's a long time. Talk to me about them early years. How did you feel going into a room, talking to someone of prominence?
Yeah.
Trying to convince them that this is the move you need to make.
So I always joke about this with my friends that I'm in a space whereby you deal with people who are professionals. Secondly, people who are qualified.
Yes.
So people who have got your degrees, your PhDs, your MBAs. I'm a dropout from 3 degrees. I haven't completed any one of them. And I remember when I started in this industry, my first shock was I was interviewing a guy who had been an executive for over 30 years, who has an MBA, and I had to interview him sitting across him and sussing him out if he's good for the job or not.
Yeah, but he's got 30 years experience, the MBA.
Yeah. So it was tough. And I remember my boss at the time said one simple thing, which made sense to me. She said to me that, your job is to speak to all of them and see who is the best for that opportunity. So what they say, how they do it, how they explain it. And don't get too shocked with the jargon that they use, because every industry's got different jargons. They use different words for everything. Literally say to them, speak to me as if you're speaking to a child in terms of understanding what you do. Because truthfully speaking, when anyone who holds a job in this industry, the simplest way to describe it is literally by saying, I wake up, I look after this and this and this and this, without using the big words. And then you know exactly what that person is doing. So, at the beginning it was tough, but now I love it, man. Like, I've met a lot of great executives. I speak to a lot of great executives, deal with them on a regular basis. And the biggest thing about it is that I'm still learning even till today.
Well, it's a continuous evolution. That's how we grow. I mean, when you're looking for somebody who is not looking for work, I'd imagine there's a lot of rejection that comes your way. Like, how do you not take that personally? Because I know some people are quite sensitive to rejection, so they might take that personally. So how do you keep yourself in a positive mindset of, you know what, I'm going to go get the next one. I'm going to go get the next one.
Rejection is part of life. When I grew up, Nangshel. So at early ages of my life, I knew what rejection is. Yeah. But I think with rejection, if you know that you've positioned yourself in the best way forward. Even when they say they're not interested or they say, no, I don't want to talk about it or I don't want to deal with you. Because you know that you've done your preparation, it's a softer landing as opposed to just being rejected like that. Because you know that, you know what, I gave this person everything in terms of information that I can give them. And if they're not interested, they're not interested. Not everyone's going to be interested. But at the same time, I'll tell you this. With executive search, it's always best to listen to a headhunter when they're speaking to you. Because even if the opportunity is not for you today, 2 years down the line, it might be. A month down the line, there could be retrenchment. So I always say to professionals that always hear the other party out, especially when you have an opportunity to introduce yourself to a new organization. One thing that I always push is that do those interviews, even if you do an interview and you get rejected, or you do an interview and you're not interested. The mere fact that you've put yourself out there, you get an opportunity to learn about the organization, they get to learn about you. And you never know what could happen in the next 5 to 10 years.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Okay, James, nuggets only that you're giving us right here. Let's go back. I want to talk about these garments, man.
Yeah.
Double F on the side. What got you into, like, I want to do some knitwear? Or
So, it's a passion of mine. The double F stands for Freeway by Flawless. It's originally from the original founder is a gentleman from KZN. His name is Eddie Nguse. Born in Hammersdale, so from my hood, my township.
it's from your end.
Yeah, my ends. So he started this brand, and then my brother Bilo got involved and roped me in as well. So it's been growing. It's 5 years into it. We've had a number of different types of garments that have come out. So if you go into our page, you'll see it. So we cater for both males and females. It's a passion, and again, funny enough, the universe is very funny, because, as I said earlier on, I am a dropout from 3 degrees. One of the degrees that I dropped out from is textile technology.
Okay.
So textile technology is materials, fabrics.
Fabrics, yes.
So I know quite a lot about fabrics. I never thought that it will take me full circle to what I was studying, and I'm finding that there's certain things that I'm able to introduce to the business in terms of fabrics, in terms of what we should be looking for, what we should be doing. But my partners are great, Eddie and Mbilo. They're amazing. Eddie is a designer by heart. He ideally, if we had all the money in the world, I just throw him into a storeroom with a whole lot of fabric and scissors, and I promise you that guy's amazing. Bilo's a great mind when it comes to packaging, when it comes to logistics. So the 3 of us put together, it basically just makes it work. And we're looking forward to grow. We've had a couple of interviews about it. We've got a couple of guys, I'd call them influencers, who wear our brand. So yeah, watch out for it. Watch out for it.
So must finish my his and hers this winter.
I can't.
I can't like it.
I can't. I promise you, if you buy for your girl, she's going to love you. If she buys for you, you're going to love her.
You heard it here from the man himself. You heard it from the man himself. Okay, let's talk about let's go back to the pedal viewing here. You're in 3 venues. Moonshine.
Yes. So
you're in 0-0.
Yes, 0 and 1.
Yes.
No, it took me a while as well. It took me a while because I always said 0-1.
We all think it's just anyway, but and the third venue is
the Rosebank one as well. Yes.
A lot of positive feedback on these things. Where do you want to take this going forward?
So the idea has always been an environment or a space where F1 followers can come together and enjoy the race together. So yes, majority of our viewings are Gauteng and Pretoria based. We want to grow. We're looking to grow into Cape Town, into Durban, into PE, basically all corners of South Africa and as well as the rest of Africa. So our website is www.paddockviewing.africa, specifically because we don't feel that it should be limited to South Africa only. It should be for the Africa continent, because ideally, truthfully speaking, F1, you guys need to realize that you need to bring it to the African continent. And easily, I would say South Africa, but I won't be an advocate for South Africa at this
We will
stage.
sell it out.
Yes, we will. We will.
The prices are a bit sus, man. There's all kinds of rumors of like it might cost $5,000 or things of that nature. But even so, if you think about it, if it's $5,000 for the weekend, that's fine, because you've got Friday, yes, practice, and then the race. So that's a lot of Formula One content.
That's a lot. So they need to bring it to Africa. And again, even if it's not South Africa, flip. Ghana's great. Kenya's great.
Egypt actually.
Egypt is great, but Egypt is too far.
In its roots.
Too far north. Too far north. So yeah. The plan for F1 paddock viewing is growth. We just want to have a space for people who love F1 to get together, and that was the beginning of it. Our team is still focused on it, and I must say I've got a great team. Like, it's funny how all of them love F1. There's one lady in the team who knew nothing about F1, but since she joined the team, she's.
It's a bug, man.
It is.
You catch it.
It
talk
is.
Talk to me about your team. Leadership is something that we all have to. We're either born into or we have to learn how to lead. For you, did you always feel that you had those intangibles in you as growing up? You're like, I'm ready to lead. I can lead. You have a resilient character, as it shows. I mean, you talk about the 3 degrees. I understand that. It took me like 2-3 years longer than it was supposed to for me to get mine. So being able to handle that level of stress and coming back from failure can make one really headstrong. So how do you know when to lean on your team or when I need to be the one that takes the reins on this one?
So ideally, and again, I think it's I combine my expertise in terms of the businesses that I hold. What I've learned from executive search is that to be a leader, you don't look for people who are like you to be part of your team. You look for people to supplement where you are weak. Because if they do what they're supposed to do, they make you look good. So my team consists of people who are good when it comes to marketing, good when it comes to, like there's a gentleman in my team, Tabang. He actually knows more F1 than I do.
He needs to let the Vettel thing go.
He does. He does. So you look for people who will complement you and close those gaps where you are not that strong. So and again, leadership is not about I'm the boss. I always say it always has to be a team effort. There's times when a Balesa will tell me, no, we're not doing that, we're doing this. And I'm like, actually, I hear you. As much as I don't agree to it, I'll let it happen. There's times when Tabang will be like, nope, we're doing it this way. And it's a collaboration between all of us, because once you take a situation and you make it your own and you want things to go your way all the time, there's so many other areas that you're actually missing out on because of your tunnel vision. Yeah, so yeah, I've never trained to be a leader. I think everyone has a quality of being a leader, born with it, naturally. It's just that there's different types of leaders in this world.
Well, it's surely working the right way. Right?
I hope so.
There's 2 things I need to do. Number 1, I owe you $500 because there's no way De Vries is going to finish above you.
Oh, yes. I remember that bit.
And I know Lufepe is also waiting. He's not waiting.
I remember that bit.
I don't know what happened to him. It's like he forgot how to drive a race car.
You heard that he might lose his seat.
I wouldn't be to Danny Rick.
Yeah,
that's
to Ricardo. He might lose his seat. So he's got 2 more races to do something. Otherwise, he's out.
But the rumor mill is that Red Bull's phasing out Checo and kind of bringing in Ricardo. And you see them on social, it's always the 2 of them together.
I know, I've seen that. I have seen that. I'm shocked. I've seen that so many times. But it would be a foolish mistake. You know, Ricardo, yes, we know him as a champion for Red Bull back in the days. He struggled at McLaren. And
It mean champion in terms of a hard-working gen.
yes, not champion, yes. He struggled at McLaren, and for them to replace him with Checo's doing well. Checo is doing well.
Out on Latino.
Because when you think about it, everyone who has gone head-to-head with Verstappen from the same team has struggled.
Yeah, Kvyat, Ricardo, Albon, Gasly. He's given them all the smoke.
All of them. Checo's the only one who has made him think twice about it. You hear him on the radios when he's frustrated.
It's because he knows Checo's not. Let me talk about where were they just racing before?
They were at Baku, yes.
Baku, yes. No, Miami. It was Miami.
Oh, the last race was Miami,
Yes,
yes.
it was Miami. I wanted to see something from Checo. You in front, it's yours for the taking, and he had no answers for Max. No answers. He's a great driver, but I don't think he's a world champion.
True, I agree with you fully. But I'll also say this: Red Bull is smart, and Red Bull and F1 are smart. If you look carefully, there's some alignments between F1 and Red Bull. And when you watch that race, the Miami race, I was frustrated by the sense that I hardly heard Checo on his radio.
It's like he wasn't aggressive.
Yeah, I hardly heard him. He should have been saying, guys, what strategies? What are we doing? Where are we going? What tires is he using?
I mean, you saw Hannah sitting like this, bored out of her mind. There was nothing happening.
And that's the problem. It could be instructions from the top boss, the Checo.
You need to relax now.
Yeah, I need to relax. Max will catch up with you and beat you.
We shall further see.
We will see. We'll see. I need him to lose his marbles and just say, lack of a better word, screw you. Screw you, Red Bull. I'll start with Paddock Viewing, F1 Paddock Viewing. You can find us on Instagram, F1 Paddock Viewing, Facebook, F1 Paddock Viewing, website, www.f1paddockviewing.africa. You can find Frueba Flawless on Instagram and Facebook as well, which is _Frueba Flawless on Instagram, Frueba Flawless on Facebook. Exec Corner Office. There's no need to find me there because
he'll find you.
The clients find me. I will find you.
Hey, Simpiwe, thank you for your time. I'm Simphiwe Dlungwana. This was the Blackbox edition with my man Simphiwe Dlungwana. And we'll catch you when the sun comes back around.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, brother.
Salute.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
Why are you supporting the Bostons?
Listen, man. I lost the bet. My Warriors went out. The Lakers beat the Warriors. The Warriors beat the Lakers.